Welcome to Under the Sun podcast.
I'm Irene.
And I'm Aileeah. We're so glad you're here. Grab a hot
or iced coffee and join us as we talk about everything under the sun.
Are we doing this?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
We rebranded.
We did.
I don't know where we're placing this in the episode, but yeah, we rebranded. I hope you guys like it.
Yes, I'm excited about it.
We went through a couple different iterations of colors and things. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it started out looking like the Mexican flag, so we had to change it. We had to change it.
It was beautiful colors, but just very...
It was beautiful colors.
Blocked.
And it started out as the orange we picked was very red orange, and it looked very much like Christmas. And so we went from Christmas to the Mexican flag to now more of like a moody green and orange. Yeah. And a little gray and some white.
I'm so excited for it.
I'm excited too. We're going to be more professional,
for our
guys.
New intro.
I am too.
With the ice. Did anybody else notice the ice?
Yeah, that's my favorite detail. That was like 2:00 in the morning, just trying to get stuff done. And my computer was glitching, and so when I was playing like the long logo part where the music is under it, it was glitching with the beat, and I was like, "That's a good idea."
Funny.
And I was like, "Would it be fun if it was like a ding 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 with coffee?"
I love that.
And I was like, "Oh, that's fun." And then I added the little graphics of a coffee, like an iced coffee and a hot coffee.
That was so cute.
Yeah, so I
loved it.
I loved it
was
too.
Cute.
Oh, sorry about my phone, guys. I'm professional. It was you. You texted me. You texted me in the middle of the podcast?
No, I texted you before. It just took a minute to come in. But I would text you in the middle of a podcast.
You wouldn't be like, stop talking like that. Stop being the way that you are. And I'd be like, true. I should stop. All right, so what's up, girl?
Are we doing it as a full episode or are we doing a mini-sode?
It's a mini-sode of bonus content, guys, because Irene called me in hysteria last night. Yes. Why do I sound so muffled? Do I sound muffled to you?
No.
Hold on.
That room noise is gone.
Yeah, cool. That's weird. I turned it a little.
Okay. Well, you're on an Instagram hiatus.
I am.
So I saw a clip and then I sent it to you and I was like, oh, shoot, she's on an Instagram hiatus. And then I thought, oh, shoot, we should record that. So then I called her. I was like, don't watch it.
Well, I'm not on like a full hiatus. I am on a content consumption highly limited. Mm-hmm. I'm just better. Like I'm a better mom when I'm not on social media because like I don't like it, guys. I'm a child of the millennial age. I've had social media since I was like 13, 14 years old, and how much time I've wasted, the businesses I could have built with that freaking time.
I will forever be grateful that I'm the age that I am because Instagram wasn't a thing in high school. There was it wasn't that we weren't allowed to have it. It just didn't exist. Mm-hmm. And I think Facebook maybe was out when I was a senior, but that's back when it was just like for college students.
Right.
And then there's a ladybug on your microphone.
Son of a... It's still happening, guys.
But like, I still got social...
I could have so easily gone to my coffee. Gross.
But I didn't have it at my most like formative years, I guess. So like I can doom scroll all day, but I can also turn it off. And I think that's just because my frontal lobe was a little more developed by the time I was probably 19 before I really got Instagram. I
started using social media super early because of music. And so I felt like, I have to be on this to like, because it's for the whole time of social media. It's like the more you're on it, the more they like reward you with like showing your stuff to people. And so like I just framed it as like, this is work. I'm doing like market research or doing, X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. So like my frontal lobe needs some reset of like dopamine centers. Yeah. And
when I was 15,
it's also your fault, actually, a little bit.
Sorry.
It's your fault.
Because we're how old? We're not that much. We're not that different, are we?
No, but how you did ruin me is that like, I remember when we worked at Green Shoe, early days Green Shoe. This has nothing to do with the podcast, son of a gun. But real quick.
Our mini 10-minute episode.
I know, shoot.
It's fine. We'll just turn into a full one.
We had her, we were working and she had her iPad as she was doing something on the computer, like you were doing some type of research or something. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what are you doing? And you're like, I'm watching, I think it was like Law & Order SVU while you were doing something. And I was
taxes.
like, that's
who's gonna just sit and do taxes?
I was like, that's an option. Like I did not. And so then you unlocked something in my brain, which I'm very good at multitasking, but like now I can't do any task without hearing something. Yeah. And I like my thoughts. Yeah. I want, at least I think I do. I haven't heard them in a while. Like I want to be able to like honestly like hear God's voice clear. And also like the more content I consume, the less like song ideas I have.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like bring that back because I used to like daily have like at least a chorus written of something. Yeah. So anyways, that
I had MySpace growing up.
Did I hit record on that?
Yeah. But that was dial up. So
yeah. So you'd click on a photo and then walk away for 10 minutes?
I think it was maybe past dial up, but it took ages to load. So it wasn't like that dopamine instant swipe hit. It was like click. So there was that.
Okay. Why are we here today?
This clip.
Also, my kid is in the other room watching Clifford the Big Red Dog. So if she runs in here, that's just it life.
Happens.
Yeah.
This clip popped up last night. I saw it on. I don't know where this. Like still not seen the whole speech. I can't find it, so I don't know what's happening.
That's probably on purpose.
But I may also. I've not tried that hard, to be honest, because I didn't want the whole speech. I wanted this clip that I heard, so I just saved it. Don't know where to find it, but I'm a little not maybe even skeptical, but it looks.
Do you think it's AI?
I don't think it's AI. I think whoever recorded it just did a poor job at lighting, or he's hiding in a bunker because people are after him. Like, it's really weirdly dark. But I don't think it's AI because like people of note are sharing it. Joe Rogan shared a different section of this speech. So somewhere there's this really good speech. Either way, all that to say, I was listening to the clips, and then Jacob and I were like yelling in the kitchen in like good yell. But then we had to like, we're very quiet, but when we're passionate. And then sometimes the kids are like, are you guys fighting? And it's like, no, we're just talking. Like, we're excited.
Wait, can I say this real quick? Because we didn't say anything. We won the election.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, that's huge. I mean, even if you voted differently than us, we can still be friends. You know, as long as you're like anti-transing kids and stuff, you know, we can be friends. If you're pro that, you can just unsubscribe.
Okay, I'm going to play this. Okay. I'm just going to play this. We'll just jump in because otherwise we'll talk for 10 years. Hang on.
How dare you? Let's talk about that for 10 minutes.
Gender insanity being pushed on our children is an act of child abuse. Very simple. Here's my plan to stop the chemical, physical, and emotional mutilation of our youth. On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care. Ridiculous. A process that includes giving kids puberty blockers, mutating their physical appearance, and ultimately performing surgery on minor children. Wow. Can you believe this? I will sign a new executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age. I will then ask Congress to permanently stop federal taxpayer dollars from being used to promote or pay for these procedures.
Thank you.
Pass a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation in all 50 states. It'll go very quickly. I will declare that any hospital or healthcare provider that participates in the chemical or physical mutilation of minor youth will no longer meet federal health and safety standards for Medicaid and Medicare and will be terminated from the program immediately. Furthermore, I will support the creation of a private right of action for victims to sue doctors who have unforgivably performed these procedures on minor children. The Department of Justice will investigate Big Pharma.
I have goosebumps on my legs.
I cried yesterday. I'm probably going to cry now.
To determine whether they have deliberately covered up horrific long-term side effects of sex transitions in order to get rich at the expense of vulnerable patients. In this case, very vulnerable. We will also investigate whether Big Pharma or others have illegally marketed hormones and puberty blockers.
Yes, they have.
Which are in no way licensed or approved for this use. My Department of Education will inform states and school districts that if any teacher or school official suggests to a child that they could be trapped in the wrong body,
the best part for me,
they will be faced with severe consequences, including potential civil rights violations for sex discrimination and the elimination of federal funding.
Let's go.
As part of our new credentialing body for teachers, we will promote positive education about the nuclear family, the roles of mothers and fathers, and celebrating rather than erasing the things that make men and women different and unique. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth.
It should be simple.
The bill will also make clear that Title IX prohibits men from participating in women's sports, and we will protect the rights of parents from being forced to allow their minor child to assume a gender which is new and an identity without the parents' consent.
Wow.
The identity will not be new, and it will not be without parental consent.
Wow.
No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history. Nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. It was all when the radical left invented it just a few years ago. Under my leadership, this madness will end. Yes. Thank you very much.
Praise God. Wow.
Wild.
And like what he says is not crazy. No. Like, and yet we're all like
one.
These are the sports I'm into. Like this is
like doctors can be held liable. That is a big one because they're like so protected.
Damn time.
The other one is obviously we're homeschooling, so it doesn't matter. But it's like, and okay. I'm going to preface this by saying giving birth in any way, shape, or form is a miracle and so hard.
Yeah, it was very hard. Yeah.
I'm not saying my next statement to like make anyone feel any way or belittled or whatever. But as I was yelling in the kitchen to my husband, I said something about like when he got to the teacher part, I was like, that pissed me off so much. And my kids aren't even going to school.
Yeah.
But besides the fact that like I gave birth to that kid with no drugs and 100% force of every ounce of pain. How dare you think you can undermine me? I pushed that thing out of my hoo-ha.
Yeah.
Drug-free. Again, anyway, it's hard. But like, that's what I was yelling in my kitchen. Like, I felt all of it. Do not go and undermine me and tell like my child, your mom's wrong.
Yeah.
You can be whatever you want. Like, no. Well, that is my kid until they are of legal age.
I wonder if that's grouped in with the fact that like here in Illinois, I don't know where you guys are at, but in Illinois, like once the kid turns 12, the kid has to give consent for the parent to go into the doctor's office with them.
Yeah.
Which opens a whole host of things that could go wrong: molestation, inappropriate pictures, transing your kid, or giving them puberty blockers, or giving them birth control.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's included because
I think so. I would think so.
Yeah.
But not to mention like the whole, not to bring up the whole like, once you live under my roof, but like if you're 12, I'm paying your rent. I'm buying your food. I'm buying your clothes. I'm paying for your education. Like you are under my roof.
Yeah. And
you're still a
even
child.
If they're going to the doctor and you're not allowed in there and they're giving them birth control or whatever, you're by proxy still paying for it because you pay tax dollars, which then tax dollars are paying for that service.
Yeah.
Which is so ridiculous. Wow.
Do you want to hear the other one then?
Yes, I do. I'm like,
I need to find the whole speech, but
he is not our savior, and God would have, like, we were picked to live in a time like this, but by the grace of God, we won, and all those freaking Amish came out of the woodwork. Did you see?
Well, yeah, because they were raided by the FBI.
Well, did you see what happened with the Amish?
Yeah.
So like 180,000 Amish came out and voted for the first time because of one man.
Yeah.
Not because of Donald Trump, but because I can't think of his name right now. Shoot. Alan something. He literally went to the Amish. Like he moved to Pennsylvania to go visit the Amish and say like, hey, here's what's going on in politics. And then all their buddies are being raided and their raw milk is being stolen and whatever. And he set up like tour buses to go pick up people like Amish to go vote. Let's go. Yeah. This is the content I'm here for.
Here's the other one.
Okay.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that. If this most fundamental right is allowed to perish, then the rest of our rights and liberties will topple, just like dominoes, one by one. They'll go down. That's why today I'm announcing my plan to shatter the left-wing censorship regime and to reclaim the right to free speech for all Americans. And reclaim is a very important word in this case because they've taken it away. In recent weeks, bombshell reports have confirmed that a sinister group of deep state bureaucrats, Silicon Valley tyrants, left-wing activists, and depraved
those ants are panicking right now.
Have been conspiring to manipulate and silence the American people. They have collaborated to suppress vital information on everything from elections to public health. The censorship cartel must be dismantled and destroyed, and it must happen immediately. And here's my plan. First, within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit, categorize, or impede the lawful speech of American citizens. I will then ban federal money from being used to label domestic speech as mis or disinformation.
Wow.
And I will begin the process of identifying and firing every federal bureaucrat who has engaged in domestic censorship.
He's on a mission.
Directly or indirectly, whether they are the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Health, Human Services, the FBI, the DOJ, no matter who they are.
Get them,
Second,
Trump.
I will order the Department of Justice to investigate all parties involved in the new online censorship regime, which is absolutely destructive and terrible, and to aggressively prosecute any and all crimes identified. These include possible violations of federal civil rights law, campaign finance laws, federal election law, securities law, and antitrust laws, the Hatch Act, and a
He had
host
this
of
in the
other
barrel. He knew what he was
potential
going to talk
civil,
about. Good for you.
regulatory, and constitutional offenses. To assist in these efforts, I am urging House Republicans to immediately send preservation letters, and we have to do this right now, to the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, and every Silicon Valley tech giant, ordering them not to destroy evidence of censorship.
That's what they're going to do anyways.
Third, upon my inauguration as president, I will ask Congress to send a bill to my desk revising Section 230 to get big online platforms out of censorship business. From now on, digital platforms should only qualify for immunity protection under Section 230 if they meet high standards of neutrality, transparency, fairness, and non-discrimination. We should require these platforms to increase their efforts to take down unlawful content such as child exploitation and promoting terrorism, while dramatically curtailing their power to arbitrarily restrict lawful speech. Fourth, we need to break up the entire toxic censorship industry that has arisen under the false guise of tackling so-called mis- and disinformation. The federal government should immediately stop funding all nonprofits and academic programs that support this authoritarian project. If any U.S. university is discovered to have engaged in censorship activities or election interference in the past, such as flagging social media content for removal of blacklisting, those universities should lose federal research dollars and federal student loan support for a period of 5 years and maybe more. We should also enact new laws laying out clear criminal penalties for federal bureaucrats who partner with private entities to do an end run around the Constitution and deprive Americans of their First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment rights. In other words, deprive them of their vote. And once you lose those elections, and once you lose your borders like we have, you no longer have a country. Right. Furthermore, to confront the problems of major platforms being infiltrated by legions of former deep staters and intelligence officials, there should be a 7-year cooling off period before any employee of the FBI, CIA, NSA, DNI, DHS, or DOD is allowed to take a job at a company possessing vast quantities of U.S. user data. Fifth, the time has finally come for Congress to pass a digital Bill of Rights. This should include a right to digital due process. In other words, government officials should need a court order to take down online content, not send information requests such as the FBI was sending to Twitter. Furthermore, when users of big online platforms have their content or accounts removed, throttled, shadow banned, or otherwise restricted, no matter what name they use, they should have the right to be informed that it's happening, the right to a specific explanation of the reason why, and the right to a timely appeal. In addition, all users over the age of 18 should have the right to opt out of content moderation and curation entirely, and receive an unmanipulated stream of information if
Wouldn't
they
that
so
be
choose.
freaking nice?
The fight for free speech is a matter of victory or death for America and for the survival of Western civilization itself. When I am president, this whole rotten system of censorship and information control will be ripped out of the system at large. There won't be anything left. By restoring free speech, we will begin to reclaim our democracy and save our nation. Thank you, and God bless America.
Do you have brain fog? Are you lethargic? Do you have digestion issues? Do you not poop enough? Are you pooping too much? Do you have angry outbursts? Does your butthole itch? Irene, does your butthole itch?
Don't answer that. Don't answer. I'm going to answer.
Well, if your butthole itches, what does that mean?
Question. That means you have a worm.
Or many worms.
Lots of worms.
And I know what you're thinking. Worms? Are you kidding? That doesn't happen.
I've not left the country.
Yeah, it happens. Guys, like, you can go touch the soil in your front yard and get worms from there. Like, because
if you have pets, they lick you.
We're disgusting, honestly. And like food, like produce, if it's not cleaned properly or if it's grown and like, they're everywhere. Yeah. So most cultures cleanse once a quarter.
Yeah.
So
deworm themselves all the time.
You gotta deworm yourself, and we have the perfect brand for you.
Yes. ROGERSHOOD is where we get all of our parasite things from. She has this kit. It gives you everything you need. It has 3 tinctures. There are...
And heavy metals, too.
Yep, pulls heavy metals out. It's so great. Yeah. I did it. I'll just say it. I did it, and the very first day that I started the tinctures, an 8-inch tapeworm came out of my bed.
8 inch.
So... And... I mean, I have left the country on like cruises, but it's all sanitary and everything's washed and they're there.
It's just life, and we have to just cleanse regularly. Yeah. So use our code UTSP10 and you won't regret it.
Yeah. There was another one that said children of immigrants born in this country no longer automatically get citizenship.
Good.
Yeah. It's wild. But also, like, his security better be cranked because he's pissing off literally what I was going to say.
Okay, you're going after the deep state, big pharma. You're kicking out illegals who came here illegally and don't deserve to be here. I'm sorry, but there's actually a great book, Aileeah Stuckey. I know I talk about this a lot, but she just released a book called Toxic Empathy, and she covers the immigration issue because a lot of the conservative white women will be like, oh, but like the babies, you don't want to deport the babies. And it's like, hey, like we are drowning. You know, like when your plane is going down, you have to put your mask on first and then help your child next to you. Otherwise, like your kid is doomed if you're gone. Like we have to put our oxygen mask on before we help anybody. Yeah. And come here the legal way. Don't come here illegally and then be handed thousands and thousands of dollars when Americans are struggling just to put food on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I need to find the whole speech, but those were like 2 hot points. I was like, oh good, we're finally not going to get thrown in jail every time we say the word abortion.
Yeah. Well, that like honestly, like our channel has had a hard time with that, but I have never recovered from 2020. Yeah. I have never recovered.
I mean, you're on a whole lot of lists, not just
I'm
one
on
or
so
two.
many lists. Like when they raid the FBI, if y'all could take my name off that list, because I just research and go deep into government sites and like their own .gov websites that are out. Or keep me on the list for all I care. I don't care, but I just want to be able to like post stuff and it get the traction that it used to get.
Yeah.
But also I know that like my content is not for everybody anymore. But the reason I shared, like, I'm kind of like really excited about the next season of like, hey, things are going to start looking positive because everyone's like, oh, why do you share that things are toxic all the time? It makes me feel like I'm failing. I'm like, I'm not the mean person here. Yeah. Talk to the people who are creating these toxins and selling them to you with no remorse. Yeah. Taking your money, poisoning your family, killing your kids. It's not that, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying, hey, this has lead, whatever. People are like, oh, your content's so like, oh, like everything's poisoning you and the government's trying to kill you. I'm like, it is. But now that all of we just listened to, I can like not care about it as much and try to like warn families because now it's like a public, like a lot of people don't even recognize that the deep state is even a thing. Yeah. They're so dumb that they don't even recognize that it's a thing. Yeah. I'm so excited.
Well, also the fact that so many people...
My eyebrows hurt because they've been up so much. I'm so excited.
Well, it's like so many people... And to be fair, I didn't know this until the last 8 years or so. you just assume as a kid, like, oh, the president's in charge of the country. It's like, no. And I don't know. I cheated my way through history. Don't tell my children. But like, I also learned it through basically Christian school history. So
yeah,
whatever that was worth.
All history is actually just a lie.
That's
so like,
also
even
what
if you
I
did
had believed
learn,
even as a child. But like they taught, I had to take like social studies and you had to learn what the House and Senate does. But it's like, oh, okay, it's just the government, but the president's in charge. But
like he can't just say, oh, veto.
Like, nothing would have mattered. Even if Harris would have won and we still took the House and state, like what she can't do anything. She's a sitting duck because we have the House and the Senate.
Yeah.
But the fact that we have Trump, we have the House and we have the Senate.
Yeah.
Like when he says he's going to do that on day one, no one's going to stop him.
Except for there is like a coup going on right now.
Well, yeah, but
so,
the American people
we're pissed.
Yeah.
We the people.
We are done.
I'm so excited. Yeah. I'm so excited.
And now we're getting, since I can't technically, since I can say all the trigger words, but I can't because we'll still get banned. But there's now a big gun thing going on in Illinois.
Yeah.
Getting kicked back. So it's like, it's about time.
Pritzker has 30 days to take action.
I mean, they're gonna yo-yo it back and they're gonna volley it back and forth for a long time, but at least we're moving in the right direction.
Well, yeah, we are the majority. It's so nice to like, because for a long time it's kind of felt like, oh my gosh, like is it just us like that? Is there only a few of us that are awake to these things, or is it just us? And now like we see that map and we're like, it's not just us. It's a lot of people who are just sick of. I think really what tipped a lot of people over the edge is that transing kids stuff, because Lupron that is commonly prescribed to children to stop, just push pause on puberty, just push pause, does not push pause. And if you say that, like if you believe that, you haven't done any research, you're dumb, and you need to research it yourself, because it literally chemically castrates them, because it was created to chemically castrate pedophiles in prison. Like, and you're giving that to children? Like, tell me that they don't want to like limit population without telling me that. And like the birth control that has created a whole infertile generation. Like I've talked to my mom and like other women who are grandmas, because my grandma has passed, but infertility was not like a thing that much back then. Like my mom doesn't even remember women like talking about, maybe they shouldn't talk about it, but like it's a huge.
I wonder if they just didn't talk about it though. Because I found out women in my family are on like 3 and 4 generations past, like 3 or 4 losses. So I don't know. I'm
not talking about losses. I'm talking about
infertility.
Like there are so many women who can't even get
that.
Like,
okay, that is definitely new.
Losses. Yeah. Like so tragic.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like can't even like have to go like
have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in IVF. Just
it's not even the women. It's not just the women. Like the men's motility is weight.
My lips.
Is that your motility sound?
No, that was me trying to silently fix my lipstick from having it not on the cup, and then it just kind of popped out.
It's like it's all of it. We're all just sick, and RFK is gonna freaking take the fluoride out of the water.
Oh my gosh! I know you're not on social media, and like I have been, just because, and I'm specifically going to all of them. Like I even downloaded Threads, and I don't even have a Threads, but I know a lot of people. It's when Elon bought Twitter. All of the left-wing, like super left-wing radicals were like, I want no part of Twitter, even though that used to be their favorite playground. And then Instagram came out, or Mark Zuckerberg came out with Threads, which is Twitter, but it's called Threads. And so that's where everybody went. It's just statuses and stuff. And so everyone they're on Threads. So I even downloaded Threads just to see like what. And then I've been on TikTok on my work.
So you were like not interested in any of it.
I do it for the humor. I'm not in it for like because I guess at 35 years old, it's very...
You're not 35.
I'm basically 35. My opinion is not really going to change. At this point, I'm pretty set in my ways. Yeah. Like, I can read something and change, but like I feel like most of my stuff is set in my ways. So if somebody's not going to come in...
It's just pretty basic stuff.
Logic,
reason.
But like no one's going to say anything that's going to... Like, I'm already voting for this person. No one's going to say anything to change that. So I don't need my blood pressure to like rise when I already know who I'm voting for. But post, it's just... comical. Like there's that one girl who
can you cut and re-roll before you do that, just because it's about to hit 25 minutes other side. Oh gosh, it resets at like 25. Yeah, girl.
There is a girl who is like screaming on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen any of those. because I
women are shaving their head.
Go for it. I don't
like,
care.
You are psychotic.
Also,
with
not
having
to-
this Britney moment. I'm like, great. No man's gonna want to boink you anyway.
But also
You're
not
bald
to
head.
be crass. It's like, no man will ever be with me for 4 years. It's like, no real man wants to be with you.
Yeah.
So
No, seriously.
nobody cares.
But also, like, just abstinence is okay. Like, it's okay to, like, hey, maybe, like sex isn't bad, but sex was created to make other humans.
Yeah.
And you're just mad that you can't kill the human you created because of sex, because that's what it was created for. And now this, like, vicious cycle.
Yeah.
It's not birth control. Go get a full hysterectomy if you want to have carefree, vigorous sex all the time. Who cares?
But also, like, I cope with trauma with humor. I cope with humor with everything is humor.
Yeah.
I think everything is funny. But I'm gonna do it. But I did chicken out because it was the first day. People were screaming. I was gonna make a joke out of that lady screaming, and I was like, I don't feel like my feelings can't be hurt. I just didn't feel like getting in a fight with people on the internet that day.
I feel it every day.
But I'm going to take that video of this girl screaming, and I'm either going to overlay the text of, like, when my husband tells me we have coffee at home, we don't need to get one out.
Yeah, do it.
When my husband tells me you have enough yarn at home, don't buy any more. And, like, one of those. But I was like, I could do that, but people are going to be like, you're insensitive. And I just did not feel like fighting with people.
Okay. I'm sorry. And you're worried about being crass, and I've never felt that feeling ever in my life.
Well, I promised my husband I would not overly talk about.
I didn't promise sex
or our sex life. Like, what, like, but also it's your brother. So you probably are thankful for that. But, like,
just disassociate when that happens.
At our house, when we were talking and, like, laughing at all these women, like, shaving their heads, it's like, you're not going to get laid anyways.
Well, and also, like, why is it so ridiculous to think, like, hey, like, find a man who loves you. Mm-hmm. Not all men are bad.
Yeah.
Also, like, the second you know those Lefty girls still have a Pinterest board filled with like their dream wedding dresses. We all had them. I am an ex-Lefty, and I never even realized I was a Lefty. They're still on the dating websites. They're still going to be, like, flirting with guys. It's not going to last long. They're being psychotic, and just stop getting, like, the only reason you're mad is because you can't kill the kids that you're getting pregnant with. Yeah. It's so evil. And your priorities are way off. If that's your biggest issue.
Everybody wants free speech.
Yeah. Free speech,
I
be
don't
able
know
to afford food and gas.
Everyone must be able to afford, like, the main pivot point is people wanting to kill their children.
Yeah.
And
they're single issue voters, and they're really dumb.
There are circumstances where I don't ever understand, but I understand when it comes to, like, children who are technically old enough to have a period. Like, there are awful things. I don't have the answer. I don't know the answer.
Yeah, but
however, if you just want to go out every weekend and get drunk and be with whoever and have your, like, don't want to have this baby, like, maybe don't go out every weekend and sleep with strangers.
I know, but the people love reading the book. My kid, the book. Yes, my love. Oh, there's no ghost. Ghosts are...
Clifford?
Clifford?
Yes.
Oh,
sweetheart.
Do you need a hug? Hey, ghosts aren't real. You
My
want to pray?
soul just melted a little.
You want to pray? Lord, let the fear flee from Leo in the name of Jesus. Okay. All better.
Can you see?
Do you want me? I'll come see in just a minute. Do you want me to change the episode?
Okay.
Okay, I'll change the episode.
Sweet girl. That broke my heart a little bit.
Poor thing. She's very sensitive to those things, which is okay. All right. Sorry, guys. My kid got scared by a show.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
People wanting to kill their babies and...
Well, yes. We were talking about people using your empathy for children to make a bad decision.
Yeah.
Does it happen where incest happens or a child gets raped and gets pregnant? That is horrible. And that the man who did that should get the death sentence immediately.
Yep.
Not the child.
Yeah.
Like, two wrong, like, I know people don't like to say it, but, like, two wrongs don't make a right. Yeah. Like, he should go rot in a cell, be chemically castrated with Lupron, and then killed.
Yeah.
Like, public hanging, that's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
it's not like there is no difference. You can't tell on a sonogram which child was conceived in rape and which wasn't.
Yeah.
There's a guy that Live Action shares a lot. He was conceived in rape. Like actually his mom was gang raped and she kept him.
Yeah.
She was actually mentally disabled and was like ran away from home one night just because she was frustrated at something at home.
Yeah.
And then she was gang raped and then got pregnant but like wanted a baby because she wasn't quite all there.
Yeah.
But she kept it, but her mom made her give it up for adoption. But like he now is like a huge advocate. What?
Law and Order SVU is not a good show and why I watched it for so many years. But also that exact story, funny, that exact story. I was like, I know that story. I was like, no, you don't. You watched it on Law and Order. But they totally got it from that guy.
It has been like making its rounds around Instagram right now. Yeah. But yeah, it's just two wrongs don't make a right. But and the single issue voters who are like, I just want, like, I want to have abortions and I want a woman in office. Like, I don't give a rip if she's a woman. Like, I need someone, like, did you see that, what Charlie Kirk shared last night? Hold on. This is important. Give me a second just to find it.
Yeah. What irritates
me? He has 17
me,
posts within the last.
It irritates me that people saying, well, for my granddaughter, what am I supposed to tell my daughter?
Your granddaughter's going to be dead.
Your granddaughter's not going to make it if you keep offing your daughters.
And like, at what point, these women who are like, yeah, I'm doing this for my daughter, I'm doing this for myself, for women's freedom.
Don't have children.
They don't have children, and they'll never have children, and then they'll be alone. I'm sorry, but like I know these women. They're single. They can't ever get a man to stay because they're so insufferable. Maybe I'm a little too fired up for this.
Because they keep finding men at bars at 2 a.m. You're not going to find a good guy at the bar.
You're not.
You're not going to find him at 2 a.m. on the Saturday night.
Yep.
It's not going to happen.
Or on, like, are there good guys on apps? Probably. But the likelihood of you actually finding, like, go to a church, find a man. Not all churchmen are good. But the likelihood...
made a face, but I should not. I was like, oh. But no.
But the likelihood of you finding a man... likelihood of you finding a man at church that's good is higher than at a bar.
Yeah.
Like, on like a Saturday night who's probably has an STD anyways. Wow, I'm fired up today. I'm gonna piss
for our 20-minute podcast.
Are we 38 minutes
Of course we are.
Son of a biscuit-eating bulldog. Okay, Charlie Kirk shared... 3 days since Donald Trump's historic landslide, and already the EU says it wants to buy American natural gas to avoid Trump tariffs. Putin says he will sell Russian oil in U.S. dollars. Hamas is calling for peace. Zelensky held a private phone call with President Trump and Elon Musk. Mexico broke up a migrant caravan heading for America. It's like they're scared of a leader who will actually give them consequences to their actions.
Yeah.
And will put America first. When you have a leader in office who, by the way, she's not in charge. She's vice president.
Yeah.
Where the hell's Biden right now? Like, where's he been?
Sleeping.
Also, did you see that Joe Biden wore a red? Oh,
that was so funny. I mean, they pissed. You cannot piss off a woman. Listen, I don't get offended. You could call me stupid. You can call me ugly. Literally don't care. The second you say anything negative about my husband, I will probably punch you in the face. So like, I get it.
Yeah.
I didn't like the man, but like I applauded her. Like the way she stood up for her husband in that moment. Do I think she should have stood up for her husband by pulling him when his brain? Yes. That's another story. But like, you know what? Go out with a bang. Get it, girl.
Yeah. I think Biden's kind of been on a, like kind of his own savage rampage of being like putting on the Trump hat and just saying stupid things to be like, oh, that's too far. Yeah. Like calling us all garbage. And I changed my profile photo to a garbage photo for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I feel like there's like an energy now of like, oh yes, there's some actual change. Yeah. And actually like I don't want to post like super controversial stuff. I just don't want you to cut kids' genitals off or take them to drag shows because that's freaking weird. Yeah. And I just want to like have a peaceful life with my family where I can make some money, post some reels and content and do it freely without being like, haha, is this the last episode we're ever going to post? Because it might be. I might title this something like really different than anything political. Like, my hair care routine.
We just had the conversation the other day of like, we should probably do a website and get people's emails in case we get shut down. Yeah. But apparently now we're going to have plenty of time to appeal our shutdown if we do get shut down.
Here's I think what we need to do as a nation, even if you didn't vote for Trump, we should all pray for Trump because for one thing, if people are single issue voters, they're so mad because it's going to be the Handmaid's Tale. I'm shaving my head. There was a Democrat in office and she couldn't change it.
Yeah.
What is gonna if she would have gotten in office, we probably still would have won the House and Senate.
Yeah.
And she still couldn't have done anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're
also to go back to the it's the number one issue with women, and it seemed like the country was pretty divided. It was
not me.
Well, not us, but a lot of the numbers were saying prior to the election it's men versus women because all the women are voting to murder their children. But
I'm literally voting because I want to protect my children. Yeah. That's the only reason I give a rip.
People just don't. I mean, I don't blame people for being uneducated if they're little, but if you're an adult and you're uneducated, I'm aware I'm uneducated in a lot of things, and that's my own fault. I could read, but instead I'm gonna go make your craft.
Yeah.
But when Roe versus Wade was overturned, Roe versus Wade didn't make abortion legal or illegal. It just put it at a federal level. The whole point of us being the United States of America is that each state has the right to govern their state as it wants to.
And if
it just kicked it back to the states.
Yeah.
It didn't make it illegal. It just said the federal government does not deserve to have a say in what the entire country does.
Yes.
And if you don't like your state,
leave. If you don't like it,
And all these people
you probably
that
can't afford it because we've been under Kamala's regime.
Well, and all these people are I'm leaving America. And I'm like, no one is stopping you.
Go.
Please go.
Goodbye. Won't miss you.
Even for all of its faults, and even if Kamala would have won, this is still the greatest country in the world.
It is. Why are people flocking here if we're so bad and we're so terrible to women? Why is every country coming through the break in our border? Because we are the land of the free and the home of the brave, and we have you don't think you're free? Go to Venezuela for a little while.
Yeah.
See how it goes for you.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
But also fine. Move out of the state. Goodbye. Also, I heard someone else, a commentator, talking about this, and they were like, move to the states that will let you kill your kid. And Illinois was in that list. And I was I gotta move out of the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, this was supposed to be a 20-minute son of a gun, guys.
Welcome to your bonus episode.
But also, let us know what you think of our rebrand. But if you have anything negative, I'm going to cry. But the intro, I like the intro song. It's a bop. Why do I say that? I never say that in any other form in my life. Why does that come out of my mouth? I watch these, I listen to podcasts a lot. And I'm like, wow, these people are so professional and put together. And I'm like, what are we
if someone is too professional, then I don't listen. So there's that.
Sometimes.
But again, I do everything in humor. So
yeah, I'm just very excited. I'm very excited. And I promise if you voted the other direction, if you're even still here, I highly doubt it.
They wouldn't have made it this long.
They wouldn't have made it this long. But
I'm in a career where I have everybody
in
and out of my chair. So there's a way to be tactful and kind and considerate.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of America has lost that.
If we were talking face to face, a lot of this stuff wouldn't be said.
Yeah. A lot of it is said.
Well, it's not usually
in my chair. In normal, you're not going to go meet someone at the grocery store and have this. I would think not have this conversation by a carrot, but
because I think people, if they talk to you about those things, they subconsciously know you're not going to say anything, right? If you're a decent. Right? Because you practice a lot of self-control.
Oh, I have a lot of self-control.
Which, good for you. I would not make it in your field. I would be like, oh no, you're getting a bob, are you?
Yeah.
Give someone the be-do.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, wow. Okay, this was a long podcast, but that's amazing. I'm so excited. Trump needs to up his security 10x.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be actually, since I don't know this.
We should pray for him.
Well, this is something I don't know that I should have known, but I asked Jacob. I was like, worst case scenario, someone is able to get to him. I said, what happens? Because he hasn't been sworn in yet. So I'm like, what are the what are the legalities? Because technically, once he's sworn in, it's JD Vance. But I was like, technically,
I don't know.
Biden is still president. So if that, and it, since the voters voted for Trump Vance, it would still go to Vance. And that was a question. I was like, what? I mean, I don't know.
Obviously, I don't want anything terrible, but like, I would.
But I was like, oh, great. Are they going to use that as some way to be like, well, I don't know. Like, do you do another election? I should know these. No, but thankfully, my husband is very educated and he knew the answer.
I think that's why you work within a family unit, because you can't, like, there's just so much crap to know as an adult.
And we can
like, I don't understand lumens of light bulbs. I know I work in film and I go to the store and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Frick, darn it. I need to get my mouth in order.
I didn't even notice because I'm used to.
I need to. But like, also, I am to quote the CIA, I have a conspiratorial mind now, just because, I mean, they've caused it.
Yeah.
We should talk about the CIA sometime.
I'm out. You're on your own. Why? I'm a ninja. I do my bidding in the dark, not in the...
I might like start like a podcast where it's just like all super dark and I just talk about my conspiracies. So anybody listen to my conspiracies.
I think that in the realm of needing different people, they need frontline people ready to charge, and they need people that can sneak in and listen to enemy secrets. And I think you're a frontliner, and I'm a stay silent and smile while people talk around you.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
and then I come back.
And that's why we need different people.
And they're two different people. Mm-hmm. And I don't want the CIA flagging my stuff. Not that I search anything, but like... Don't look at me, proxy, I'm a ninja.
You think that FBI file doesn't have close friends? It says a bestie who drinks iced coffee. Irene Coleman.
Yep. Oh, I know.
I was just going to say that, like, I wouldn't put it past them to do another scamdemic or something that creates martial law to where, like, oh no, martial law, you can't transfer power and during martial law. I would not be surprised. But I obviously pray that doesn't happen.
Wait, though, Joe, my buddy Joe, who?
Joe Rogan?
Yeah, my buddy Joe, who we've joked, speaking of not knowing everything, we know health and fitness and plants and bodies, and the fellas don't. And every time we're like, hey, you should take this herb. It's like, okay, we'll see. And then Joe says, hey, take this herb. And then the guy's like, hey, have you heard about this herb? It's like, guys.
It's so exhausting.
we just need to go on Joe so they'll listen to everything we say. But
we're never going to go on Joe Rogan.
No, we're not.
Kidding me? I bet we could go on Theo Vaughn.
But he said, hold on, it was so fun. Actually, so this kind of ties into your scamdemic. Hold on, I got to find him. He said,
oh, the monkeys. Yeah, the 12 monkeys. It's on my
stories.
You can go to my stories.
But did you see his caption? This season of America is going to be lit.
Yeah. I literally shared it on my stories because of the caption, because it's so funny.
Can we also
it's not funny, though.
I'm glad that we're bringing back... Man, this is going to keep going. I know. Sorry, guys. This is bringing back like early 2000s slang. And it's like... I love it.
It's because now we're kind of becoming in charge of the country.
Offended. I mean, people are offended, but like those of us don't care. Like with my daughter. I grew up on the West Coast. I say dude all the time. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, hey, dude, I'm not a dude. I'm a girl. And I'm like, listen, dude means friend. Get over it. I'm going to call you dude. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. People need to get over it. I'm glad this.
I think we pivoted the pendulum swung way too far into feelings, childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And therapy is good, but like, not like freaking people who are there for like 30 years.
It's supposed to be a tool to get you through a season, and then you get out with the tools that you need to be a better person. Mm-hmm. It's not supposed to be a crutch for your whole life.
Yeah.
But with all these people screaming...
Like my Enneagram number, I can't do that because I'm an Enneagram 3 or whatever. I don't even know the numbers, but it's dumb.
With all the people screaming on TikTok, it shows me that they... Oh, you don't have do you have a trash phone?
Do I have a trash phone?
Okay, well... Use your trash phone for TikTok.
I don't have a trash phone.
Why would I have a trash phone? I have a work phone that has no personal information. So that's where I TikTok because I don't want it on my own phone. Anyways, with all the people screaming on TikTok, that tells me they were children of the participation trophy era. Yeah. Because I remember, and this is why like, my kids will do sports basically whether they want to or not. Because I remember losing a game and it sucked.
Yeah.
And we would go to the gym after losing a game. We'd go into the locker room and we would sit on the floor and cry because we're teenage girls that cried over everything. I remember sobbing, like gross, ugly crying, sobbing because I lost a game.
Yeah.
And when I was developing, I learned that feeling. And then you get up, you drink some water, you practice again, you play another game. These people that were like, everyone's a winner, they cannot handle life's biggest losses. And you need to learn as a child how to lose.
Yeah.
And lose
in like a lower grade
graciously.
Scale. Yeah.
If we would have lost the election, I would not have screamed.
No.
I would have put my big girl pants on. I would have drank some water and I would have gone to work.
Yeah.
There's a time for ruckus and there's a time to be a good loser. And you have to learn that. I think as a child, it's so important.
Yeah.
That's why not every kid is a winner.
Yeah.
And mind you, I grew up as a sports kid. And so like, what is that saying that I love? Second place winner is the first place loser.
Yeah.
And I think to an extent you can go crazy and too much for your sports parent, but that is so important to learn. Yeah. And I remember we had a coach who didn't come into the bathroom while we were crying and tell us, what a great job.
You're enough.
She would tell us before the game, if you lose this game, you're running suicides. So she would come into the gym, in the locker room where we were crying, and she'd say, okay, go. And a couple times we had to run suicides in front of a tournament. It wouldn't be like when we're home in our own place in private. It's like, get off the ground and go.
Wow. Good
and
for
that
her.
is like, the next generation needs that.
I bet her kids are cool.
They are cool.
Yeah.
They need that.
Yeah, they do. They need to like
that
pull
kick in the
yourself up
pants
by your
because
bootstraps.
also like mommy is here to catch you, but I'm not here to coddle you.
Yeah.
And children have been coddled.
Yeah.
So
I had poverty. That was my
like
my parents like worked hard. That was my like pull my bootstraps up because I never participated in sports.
Yeah.
But I do think you need like micro losses to figure it out. I always tell Leo, because she's in a I can't phase right now. And I say can't is for losers and you're not a loser. So go do it. And she does it. And she's 2. And I know that might sound harsh to people, but I'm like, I don't want that in her vocabulary. Like, we don't speak words of death. We speak words of life.
Well, and on death, one day you're going to be dead. And then what is she going to do?
Yeah.
If she was told none of that, then she's on her own in this world that is not meant for soft people.
Yeah. And we also sound like excuses are for losers. Let's go. Because I say that to myself. Yeah. Like sometimes I can very quickly get myself in an excuse spiral of like, I deserve to sit and scroll on my phone. Yeah. I'm so tired. I'm on my period. Like whatever. I can get, I can reason. I can, if you give me the opportunity, I could if I wanted to. But instead, have we talked about this? I've been like on purposely making myself uncomfortable. Like, I don't feel like doing the dishes. Like I don't want and it's all minuscule things, but I'm like, I don't care how I feel. And I'm reparenting, I guess, myself of like, I don't care how I feel. Like the dishes are dirty. Suck it up, go do it. And I'm talking to myself that way. Yeah. And being like, no, like, I don't care that you don't feel like it. Go do it. I don't care that you don't feel like going, whatever. I'm just trying like really hard in an era in a time where people are like, oh, your feelings mean so much. Yeah. I think we've gone way too far and we need to say, I don't care what your feelings are. Yeah. Go do the hard thing that you've been avoiding for
to this day. If I get to woe is me-ish, like I can hear my dad's words very plainly in his angry tone with his angry face saying, life is tough and then you die. Go do whatever it is. Yeah. And not enough kids, I think, were told that.
Have a great week, guys.
For the 17th time. Happy end of podcast.
Happy end of podcast. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to post this probably like late tonight, tomorrow. Yeah.
So a Sunday bonus podcast.
A Sunday bonus episode.
Lucky you people.
or they're like, what's going on? Why is this happening? Yeah. So sorry for the rambling, but that's what's happening. Yep. But I'm very excited. I'm very grateful. I have almost every day been like, thank you, God. Please keep Donald Trump safe. Yeah.
I'm still a little bit in the pessimistic bandwagon. So like, I'll believe it when everyone's been sworn in.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel like there's a hammer going to drop. Yeah. Like another scamdemic or something. Yeah.
Like it's been too quiet.
Well, because she conceded too easily. And also like what kind of douchebag like leaves their followers out hanging in the cold who have been waiting. Some people flew in. Some people have been out there for over 24 hours. And so allegedly she was so drunk she couldn't go out. But I think she was too pissed off that she lost.
Either way is a bad scenario.
Yeah. And
I've not heard the drunk. We're never going to end this. I have not heard the
that she was drunk
part. But like also that's not a good look for a leader.
Yeah. Listen, I've opened for some artists that were big biatches. Yeah. And they didn't like the turnout of the show or whatever, and then they go on and you can tell by their demeanor like they're pissed
treat
off
the crowd horribly,
even though they're still like maybe I don't know. in the scenario I'm thinking of, there was like maybe 100 people in the crowd, but it's way smaller than she even
exactly what show you're talking about.
And
she was so horrible.
She was so horrible. People started leaving, and I'm not saying this to like brag about myself, but everyone was like, you were way better than the headliner. It's like, because her demeanor, she treated people like shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, it sucks. It sucks. I've been there. I've played to 3 people. I've played to 5,000 people. But like, you still have to go out and make that one person, 3 people feel good.
Yeah.
But I've also lost sorely. Like, that's something maybe we'll talk about someday. But like, it's good to make people. It's a. I don't want to talk about it. We'll talk about it later. But like, because I want to like, I want to do it justice when we're not rushed. But okay, let's end this.
Okay, goodbye. Bye. Maybe.
Bye. Oh, enjoy the outro.
This content is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice.
Please do your own research and find a trusted medical professional for personalized guidance and advice.
We are not responsible for your decisions based on the information you hear on this podcast.
Bye.
Bye.